Welcome back to Party Chat. Lots of reviewers and online gaming personalities have released an extensive look at Fallout 76 gameplay. And a lot of gamers out there, I believe, are actually now getting the opportunity to stress test the game as well before the official beta launches. So there's a lot of gameplay out there on YouTube now, and a lot of people have experienced the game. And I was absolutely thrilled and excited to see what the extensive gameplay was going to be like. I was interested in the gameplay for a number of reasons. Firstly, because I wanted to see how the online multiplayer was implemented, how the PvP stuff worked, how all the co-op worked, and if that style of gameplay lended itself to the exploration and the RPG style of fun I love from Fallout. Secondly, I was looking to see how the game was graphically and technically. Fallout 4 was not at all a graphically impressive game. I wouldn't say it was like terrible looking necessarily, but at times it certainly did look pretty barren and ugly. So I wanted to see if Fallout 76 had clearly improved upon that, especially since unfortunately they're still using the same engine that they've been using since I believe Morrowind in around 2003. Obviously I know it's been upgraded and updated and things like that, but at the end of the day, that is the foundation they have. They have an engine from before 2003. It could even be older, I'm not sure. But finally, the most important thing, I wanted to see if Fallout 76 looked fun. Was the exploration fun? Was the open world interesting? Did it intrigue me? And all in all, after watching all the gameplay, I'm still excited for 76 and I'll probably still get it, but I am definitely more concerned now than I ever was, to be honest. And the main reason that is basically the same reason everyone else has been pointing at when it comes to the game, is the frame rate. When watching gameplay, it looked like the game was constantly running below 30 frames. Like the game, honestly to me, and I'm not really a technical person, but to me it looked like it was constantly running at around 22 frames per second or something like that. It was atrocious and it was completely unacceptable for 2018 standards. Fallout 4 was a game that always ran terribly, on console that is, and Fallout 76 looked like it was running substantially worse. Now Bethesda were clearly aware of these frame rate issues, and they did stress apparently in the preview period for the game that this was not a final build, this was a pre-beta build, and that's what they were basically using as the excuse for the frame rate issues. Now obviously it's quite possible that the fact that it's an older build is the reason that the frame rate was so bad, and that come launch the frame rate will be pretty much fine. That's what I'm hoping for, that's what the optimistic side of me wants to feel and think. But say we were 5 months away from launch, I could believe that excuse if we were that far away. The game launches in 1 month. I have a hard time believing that they're going to be able to optimize the game correctly in that period of time. I'm no developer, that could very well be possible of course, I don't know anything about technical things, but to me, initially that came across as incredibly far-fetched. So that was a huge issue for me. Terrible frame rate, especially anything below 30 frames, is just completely unacceptable. One thing I did like though, that I was looking out for, were the graphics, and honestly, even though you can clearly tell this is still very much the same engine with the same physics engine we've been playing on for years now, I thought the game honestly looked pretty good. The lighting engine and tech used seemed to be pretty substantially improved from Fallout 4 from what I saw, and there was clearly a lot more foliage around in the area of the map that I watched prominently, which was around the starting area. There was clearly a lot more trees and leaves and grass around, which could obviously just be a result of the setting, but it definitely seemed there were a lot of graphical improvements, which was good. The multiplayer also looked pretty fun, taking away obviously the frame rate drops. If we were to just pretend for a second that the game was running at 30 frames per second, it looked like it could be a fun time. I don't think I'm going to get a Fallout 4 type of experience with this game. There's clearly a lack of traditional storytelling, and basically there's no RPG elements or mechanics whatsoever outside of the perk system. But from what I saw, the core exploration and looting gameplay loop that was obviously present in Fallout 4 still seems to be very much intact here, except of course you've got other people running around doing stuff as well, which is cool. So those are a few little things I really liked from what I saw from Fallout 76. The gameplay looks intact, it still looks like it could be a really fun time, and I'm hoping it is, but man, those frame rate issues were really bad. They really stood out, and I'm genuinely concerned about them at this point in time. I hope Bethesda can get their stuff together before launch for the game, so it is running at a stable 30 frames on consoles. What do you think of Fallout 76? Let me know in the comments below. This has been SirCazz, farewell.